some life skills, and one of those is just how to hem like something as simple as a dress. So this I absolutely love. The thing is that when I was ordering it, they only had the tall available, and it is too long. For the models, they had it at about their like knee, and I really liked that length. And I figured if I got this, I could hem it and then it would be all right. I took some very interesting photos before I started cutting just so that I could get an accurate like gauge of how long without having to like lean forward. So I am doing a test run on the inside layer because no one sees that, and if I mess it up, it's okay. Okay, you know what? It looks pretty even, actually. Okay, it's not like at a diagonal or anything crazy. This is supposed to be, I need to roll it one more time, but this is supposed to be about 1.5 inches shorter than the outside, and I figured, like this is a little bit longer than I'd like. This is where my knee is, so it's a little long. But I figured I can always roll it a third time, can't add more fabric, but I think this is gonna look great actually. I'm very excited. This is way too long right now. I feel like I'm drowning in fabric. I remember when I bought this dress thinking that it wasn't going to be that big of an undertaking to hem it because the size guide said the difference between a standard length dress and a tall dress was about 2.5, 3 inches. And so as much as I'd have to actually hem. But I've cut off 5 inches and I'm hemming it another like 2. So how does that math like line up? And I was going back to the listing and I think I figured out what happened, which is that is what the size guide says, but the models are quite tall. They're like 5'10", 5'11". So in my mind, I assumed that they were wearing the tall like sizes. I don't think they are. I think they're wearing standard sizes, and just because they're taller, it looks shorter on them. Because then I looked at the review photos of other people wearing the dress, and theirs is also almost to their ankles, but that's not at all where the models have it. So I think it's just that they're tall, and I assume that they were wearing a tall size, but they're not actually. And I want my dress to look like it does on the models, so it's going to be a lot shorter than apparently the standard size says it should, but I don't know. I preferred that length, so I'm gonna make it. There was a fair bit of buckling at the beginning. There was on the first one too, but more so on the second one. And I think what was going on after some internet sleuthing was that I needed to lengthen the straight stitch and loosen the tension. And I did that, and that did help a lot because beforehand I think the sewing machine was just stretching out the fabric and it was just causing a lot of buckling. There was some parts where it kind of folded over and got sewn that way, but that's why we did the lining first. But yeah, changing that really did help. Although I did kind of want it to be shorter, so this is kind of where I wanted the top to be. I don't know, maybe I just do the outside, like the shell, the fat, and then that way I can then decide if I want to do a third roll on the inside lining. I don't know. So when I did the inside, what ended up happening was I cut first and then folded. I think this time I'm going to fold, sew, and then trim so that I don't freak out. And just in case I don't cut in a straight line, because I'm now realizing why those like rotary cutters, like the pizza looking ones, are helpful. Because when I was stretching the fabric while cutting, it became this whole jagged thing. Anyway, I am learning, and I'd say so far it is a success. So I'm going to take what I've learned and apply it to the outside, which has the stakes being a lot higher. Also, obviously would not be pairing it with these pants or my slippers. I finished the dress by the time my friend's engagement party came around, and I'm so happy I was able to wear it because it was just perfect for the theme. The theme was coastal pastels, and I got so many compliments on it. It just very much fit the party vibe, and hemming it was so the way to go. Because although this is a summer dress, just the amount of fabric that there is, particularly when it was down to my ankles, there wasn't any room for like airflow. It just got very hot. So taking it up to my knees helped so much with just the temperature of the dress. And I also learned just so much about sewing and hemming. Some of these I have learned before and then I just need to keep relearning. So like for example, not stretching the fabric honestly under any circumstances, because when I was doing the inside layer, the lining, I have a habit of death gripping things, and this was no different. I kind of death gripped the fabric as I was cutting it, which created these like jagged zigzags in the fabric, which would be fine, not great, but fine. But the problem being that because of that, I wasn't sure where straight was, and I was very worried that I was going to end up with like a diagonal hem. So that was like the main reason that for the outside I decided to just first fold it so that before cutting it, so that I knew where the hem was, like where it could be perpendicular, or not perpendicular, that's the opposite of what I want, so that it could be parallel to the original hem, and that was just so the way to go. Is this now really the time? Anyway, it was so the way to go, and it made it so much easier. And then also because of that, when I was cutting it and trimming off the excess fabric, I was able to get pretty close to the seam, and that made folding it over again way easier. And speaking of folding it over again, I did do like a third roll for the inside, and that is because, okay, this skirt is like a cone, right? And I think when you're, only rolling it about an inch or even like half an inch, realistically the like circumference distance of that circle is not that bad and it's fine. But when I had folded it, like I think it was 2 or 3 inches, it was too much of a difference in the circumference, and it was very hard just to get the fabric to line up. So now I'm like, okay, now I know to make sure that when I'm hemming it, to make sure like the hem is maybe at most like an inch, if not smaller, just so that it's close enough in length that it doesn't become a problem. And while I was sewing, particularly the kind of the shell, I don't think you could see it in the video, but at every single clip, I had to pause and like take a breather and have a little panic attack before continuing. Because I was just like, oh my gosh, what if I ruin this dress? I really like this dress, and it was like the last one in the size. And I just had to keep reminding myself that realistically, if I did mess up, that I was still doing it, like although it was originally ankle length and I made it below the knee, that if I really messed up, this isn't like, I don't know, getting like an amputation where you can't really go back and go, you know what, I kind of want to reattach that. It's a skirt, and if there was a problem, realistically, I could just take it to a professional and they could fix it, which didn't end up happening, luckily, but I kept having to remind myself of that really the stakes were not that high, and also just, this is like one of those things that I'm working on in therapy too, actually, is like learning to trust myself, and that if something goes wrong, I can handle it and I can fix it. And this was just such a practice in that, like I could really handle, if it didn't go well, I could still handle it, and it's very much like a confidence boosting thing. And then also being able to be like, yeah, I have this myself. But yeah, so it went really well. I do have all of the extra skirt fabric, and I would love to make an accessory with it because I just think it would be so cute. Probably maybe like a scrunchie or a hair bow, or I don't know, like maybe a little, people like tie almost like bandanas or handkerchiefs on their bag. It'd be so cute to like match it. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with that yet, but I will at some point, and I'm really glad that I actually figured out how to hem this, and it is definitely a life skill that I think I'll be using more and more. I've fixed clothes before, but like a hem is just visually a lot more important like piece or like visual of, you know, the outfit than like replacing a button, adding a button, stuff like that, which is what I have done before. But yeah, so not only did I get a very cute dress out of this, but life lessons, and my therapist will be proud. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing and wonderful week.